Well, as you just seen, we have recently finished this pool earlier today in this 110-degree Texan heat. And the next phase we're going to go to is the acid washing of it. That's going to be tomorrow. And today we're going to talk about fill water and startups and the effects that it has on your plaster long term. Most people are aware of startups. You can do the Arenda method, you can do NPT method, you can do your own method. As long as the water chemistry is balanced out and the plaster dust is removed, most of the time your technique is probably going to be all right. Especially as long as we get the calcium hardness level up quick enough. And that is what we are doing here today. I'm going to test the fill water a little bit in advance of the acid wash tomorrow, because right after the acid wash we're going to get the water in the pool filling so that the plaster can hydrate, soak up some of that water. Why I have my trusted Taylor test kit right here, and a Lamont water temperature tester, also TDS and salts, highly recommended. I keep both of these in the truck at all times, just so in instances like this where I need to drive by and test fill water, I can do so quickly and very accurately via DPD or digital testing. What I have here is a bottle of the sample water that we're going to use to fill the pool. It is important to have a clear container, and the best way to test the water is when it's fresh out the spigot, faucet, whatever you want to call it. So again, this is that water. What I'm going to go ahead and do is open up the Taylor test kit, and I'm going to run through some of those with you guys. First, let's explain why I'm here, specifically focusing on the calcium hardness level. Water is not as static as we would like to believe. It is dynamic, and so it will always try and balance itself out. One of the things in the very beginning that is extremely crucial is to raise up your calcium hardness level, because if the calcium hardness level in your fill water is too low, it's going to try and extract that from the plaster, and it's going to produce a byproduct, calcium hydroxide. You're going to see a lot of plaster dust, and it's going to weaken the plaster long term because some of that has been removed from the plaster substance itself to try and balance out that water. So to save yourself and to greatly extend the life of your plaster, what you can do is test the fill water to make sure everything is in proper range, and if you need to modify that, you can do that right then and there before the pool is starting to fill and before any of the damage can occur. So I'm not going to focus on the pH so much today, because we can quickly change that, and that doesn't have as drastic effect as a really low calcium hardness level. So use this here. I'm going to fill it up to the 25 milliliter mark. I follow the instructions to a T. I've been doing this for 15 years, yet I have learned to read instructions, even as a male. You guys don't normally like reading instructions, but I'm going to follow this one to one. So now that I've got the source water halfway up, I'm going to take the R0010, the calcium buffer. We need to get this test water ready for the reagents. My specific test comes with a dropper here that is 1 milliliter in capacity. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this up and go ahead, put it in like so. I'm just going to stir it around. Next, I'm going to do 5 drops of the 11L, the calcium indicator. Swirl this around. You're going to start to notice it be a pink color. I don't know how well the camera can see it, but it is definitely pink in my opinion. If you're colorblind, digital tester might be a little bit better, but again, 15 years in the industry, and I still trust Taylor test kits amongst all. The final thing is we're going to add this dropwise, 1 drop at a time, the R12 hardness reagent, until we get this pink color to go towards a blue. and however many drops go into the water, you're going to multiply that by 10, and that's going to be your calcium hardness level. So let's go ahead and get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so it kind of turned all the way blue, in my opinion, a full blue, right around 9 drops. So that's going to put us at a calcium hardness level of around 90 parts per million. That might fluctuate a little bit as you test the water. For instance, in the wintertime, all of that is affected by the temperature of the water. So we like to kind of bring it up to room temperature or ambient temperature before we do the water testing in the wintertime. But as of right now, I know that before we put this water in there, as soon as a hose goes in there, we're going to raise that calcium hardness so that as it's filling, no damage is occurring. And again, that's going to greatly extend the life of your plaster. If you are in the DFW area, please don't hesitate to reach out. TNT Plaster and Construction will be more than happy to come out, take a look, provide you a quote. You have a wonderful day.